Hello friends. According to the tradition of Indian Christians, the Christian faith was introduced to India in the 1st century AD by Saint Thomas and Saint Bartholomew, the immediate disciples of Jesus Christ. And some of the historians entertain the opinion of Saint Thomas must have evangelized the country, and the people who became early Christians were known as Thomas Christians or the Syrian Christians. But they are now divided into several different churches and traditions. Roman Rite Catholicism was introduced to India by the Portuguese, Italian and Irish Jesuits in the 16th century under the influence of its allied empires. As an outcome, the missionaries of different religious orders flocked to India, and the sons of Francis and Dominic were the pioneers in the field. The Jesuits and the Augustinians, and later the Carmelites, the Capuchins, and other religious and secular priests too had representatives in this mission field. To Portugal belongs the glory of having brought the first missionaries to India during the modern times. In 1497, Vasco da Gama set out for India, and inevitably two Trinitarian fathers accompanied him as missionaries. Before going into further explanation, let us understand the conceptual nature of a Christian mission. It is an organized effort which involves the sending of individuals and groups called missionaries across the geographical boundaries to carry on evangelism or other activities such as educational or medical work. When individuals are sent, they are called missionaries, and groups are called mission teams, and they do mission trips. In the 17th century, the Jesuits pursued their missionary activities in India with great zeal. The ancient Madura mission was the chief outcome of the Indian mission by Saint Francis Xavier, one of the Jesuit followers of Saint Ignatius Loyola, followed by the establishment of New Madura mission by Robert D. Nobili. Many colleges, hospitals, and other institutions could be attested to the zeal and success of the Jesuits. Following the footsteps of the Jesuits, many Protestant missionaries also entered India during the period of 18th century. In addition, the removal of restrictions in 1813, which had earlier been placed by the East India Company on the activities and entry of Christian missions in India, provided an opportunity for intensive missionary activities in the whole of India. For instance, in Bengal, the missionary work received further impetus from several outstanding missionaries such as Alexander Duff, young missionary of Scotland, and Wilson, and also from the newly emerging missionary organizations in England and in other countries. The ideas and activities of the Christian missionaries did eventually become a vital force for social reform in modern India from 19th century onwards. They have contributed to it in several ways by the way of establishing schools and colleges for boys and girls and working efficiently for the upliftment of women in India. For achieving these objectives, the Christian missionaries often brought pressure to the British government in India in order to abolish the inhuman social practices such as the early marriages, polygamy, and infanticide, and they also initiated programs for the welfare of women. For instance, the Serampore Christian missionaries headed by William Carey had started a movement for the abolition of sati in 1799, and it was William Carey and his fellow missionaries were the first to undertake the task of drawing the attention of the British government to the evil practice of sati. The efforts of the Christian missionaries to eradicate social evils in India, though did not always achieve immediate success, yet these helped to popularize an ideology that was conducive to the growth of humanitarianism in India. Though there were large numbers of men Christian missionaries to India, In this video, I would like to concentrate on the service, efforts and contributions of the prominent women Christian missionaries who visited India during the latter half of the 19th and the first half of the 20th centuries. Why women Christian missionaries? Yes, when we look into the speciality of these women, the first and foremost thing which strikes our mind would be that they were the remarkable women of prayer, and every one of them considered their ministries to be a natural extension of their love of God. Along with prayer, women Christian missionaries responded to the pain around them as they were women of action. Their paths were not easy, and all of them embodied fearlessness in the face of life's challenges. Above all, along with embodying the lives of prayer, action and perseverance, these women also challenged unjust social systems and efficiently acted as women of courage. The Christian missionaries, endowed with an idea of equality, attempted to break the fetters of differences at social, economic and cultural levels. For this, education was taken as an instrument of social action and was put to good use by them in creating level playing fields across the spectrum of society. During the 19th and the first half of the 20th centuries, the church in India stood and worked for the emancipation of women in the society. Educating the women had been the fundamental policy of women Christian missionaries, like that of their male counterparts. Besides the prominent women missionaries stated in this video, there were thousands of Christian nuns who played a crucial role in shaping the attitudes of Indian women. They came to be accepted as potent teachers, and they seasoned the minds of young women with good sense and sensibilities. The inculcation of empowerment through education attempted by the Christian missionaries undoubtedly enabled the women folk to see the realities of the world in new perspective. It is an established fact from the historical sources that the people who suffer the most were women and children from time immemorial. And today, when we navigate through the current news stories of the harsh realities of abuse against women and children, we can learn significant lessons from these women Christian missionaries and their countercultural lives. They made conscious decisions to address the injustices against women and children by the way of prayer, perseverance, and acting courageously. Therefore, we need to definitely hear the echoes about the efforts and services of the Christian missionaries and determine our response to the current happenings of crimes against women and children, and also find the courage to be the change makers, advocating for God's justice and mercy in tangible and concrete ways. Thank you for watching.